The kingdom of Kumba was once a land of prosperity, united under a single banner. But years of conflict and distrust had split it into two, creating the northern and southern clans. The northern clan, ruled by the stern chief Kunle, prided itself on strength and military prowess. In contrast, the southern clan, led by Chief Ama, was known for its wisdom, tradition, and deep spiritual beliefs. The river that divided them was not just a physical barrier, it was a symbol of their unending enmity. One fateful night, the village elder Olokun stood before the bonfire, his voice echoing in the stillness. He recited an ancient prophecy. A love will bloom from the shadows, and with it, a great war will follow. Blood will stain the river, and the cries of the lost will haunt our land. His words sent shivers through the villagers, their face flickering in the firelight. They whispered among themselves, fearing what the prophecy might bring. Adewale was a warrior of great renown, known for his fierce loyalty to Chief Kunle and his unmatched skill in battle. He had spent his life defending his clan, never questioning his leader's orders. Yet, behind his fierce exterior, Adewale was a man of honor, yearning for something more than endless conflict. Efua, the southern clan's most gifted healer, was admired for her beauty and intelligence. She was kind-hearted, but beneath her calm demeanor lay a deep sadness. She was bound by duty to her clan and carried the burden of their wounds and fears. Often, she would find solace by the river, her eyes lost in the horizon, dreaming of a life beyond the war. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Adewale found himself at the river's edge, seeking a moment of peace. He saw Efua, her silhouette bathed in the golden light, gathering herbs. Their eyes met, and in that instant, a connection sparked, one that neither could deny. Adewale and Efua began meeting in secret, hidden by the dense forest that lined the river. At first, their conversations were cautious, filled with curiosity about each other's lives. Adewale spoke of battles fought and the weight of expectations. Efua shared stories of healing and the heavy responsibility she carried for her people. Why do our clans hate each other so much? Efua asked one night, her voice tinged with sadness. They are blinded by old wounds. Adewale replied, his eyes locked on hers. But here, with you, I see a different world. Their meetings grew more frequent, their bond deeper. In each other, they found solace and hope. They shared dreams of a united Kumba, a place where they could be together without fear. Yet, they knew that their love was dangerous. If discovered, it would be seen as a betrayal by both clans. Unbeknownst to them, they were not alone. One night, as Adewale and Efua whispered sweet promises under the moonlight, a shadow moved through the trees. A spy from the northern clan had changed everything. The spy hurried back to the northern village, his heart pounding. He reported to Chief Kunle, describing the affair in detail. Kunle's face twisted in anger, his fists clenched. Adewale has betrayed us, he spat, his voice seething with fury. This ends now! The revelation of Adewale and Efua's affair spread like wildfire through the northern clan. Chief Kunle wasted no time. He summoned his warriors, declaring that the southern clan had seduced one of their own to weaken them from within. The northern warriors sharpened their weapons, preparing for what felt like an inevitable war. In the southern village, Chief Ama heard the news with equal rage. She saw Adewale's actions as a trap, a ploy to gather information and strike at their heart. You brought this upon us, she told Efua coldly. If your heart has turned north, then you are no longer one of us. Efua tried to plead her innocence, but her words fell on deaf ears. She was isolated, shunned by those she had once healed. Alone and heartbroken, she feared for Adewale's safety. Determined to make Adewale pay for his disloyalty, Chief Kunle devised a plan. He sent a small group of warriors to capture Efua, intending to use her as leverage against Adewale. The northern warriors stormed the southern village under the cover of night, seizing Efwa from her home. She fought back, but there were too many. Bound and gagged, she was dragged across the river into northern territory. Kunle confronted Adewale the next morning. "Your healer is now my prisoner," he sneered. "Betray your clan, and she will live. Refuse, and you will watch her suffer." Adewale's heart pounded. Adewale said through gritted teeth, "But I will do whatever it takes to protect her." Kunle's laughter echoed. "Then you are a fool, Adewale, and you will pay the price for your weakness." Unable to betray his love, Adewale made a desperate decision. He fled the northern village, slipping past the guards under the cover of night. He crossed the river and sought refuge. Chief Ama was shocked to see him and even more stunned when he knelt before her. "I do not come to fight," Adewale said. "I came to save Efwa and to end this madness." Ama looked at him with contempt, but saw the sincerity in his eyes. "You think you can end this?" She scoffed. "You are the spark that lit the fire." But Adewale's resolve did not waver. He vowed to fight alongside the southern clan, not as an enemy, but as a man driven by love. Reluctantly, Chief Ama allowed him to stay, knowing that war was now inevitable. With Adewale's defection, the northern clan's fury knew no bounds. Kunle rallied his forces, declaring an all-out war on the southern clan. The river that once separated the two clans now became the battleground. Arrows flew, swords scorched, and the once peaceful land was soaked in blood. Adewale and Efwa fought side by side, their love giving them strength. They moved like a single force, protecting each other from every blow. "We will survive this," Adewale promised, his voice breaking through the chaos. Efwa nodded, her eyes fierce with determination. Together. But the battle was unforgiving. Warriors on both sides fell, and the screams of the wounded filled the air. Chief Kunle and Chief Ama, blinded by their hatred, pushed the clans to the brink of destruction. In the heat of battle, Adewale saw an archer taking aim at Efwa. Without a second thought, he threw himself in front of her, taking the arrow meant for her heart. He collapsed, blood seeping from the wound. Efwa cried out, cradling him in her arms. "Adewale! Adewale, no!" She wept, tears streaming down her face. He smiled weakly, reaching up to touch her cheek. For you, I would do it 1,000 times. Efwa tried to heal him, but the wound was too deep. As Adewale's life slipped away, he whispered, Promise me, you will find peace." Efwa nodded, her heart breaking. She kissed him one last time, her tears mingling with his blood. Adewale closed his eyes, his final breath escaping in a sigh of love and sacrifice. Adewale's death shook the battlefield. Warriors from both sides paused, witnessing the ultimate sacrifice of a man who had given everything for love. Chief Kunle, seeing the lifeless body of his once loyal warrior, was overcome with guilt. For the first time, he saw the futility of the war he had fueled. Chief Ama too was moved. She saw the pain in Efwa's eyes and realized that the price of their hatred had been too high. The leaders called for a ceasefire, and the warriors lowered their weapons. The river, once a symbol of division, now held the silent testimony of a love that had cost them dearly. With the battle halted, the clans gathered to negotiate peace. Efwa, grieving yet determined, spoke on behalf of both clans. Adewale gave his life for something greater than any of us. Love, we must honor his sacrifice by ending this senseless feud. Chief Kunle and Chief Ama, humbled by the loss and inspired by Adewale's final act, agreed to a truce. They promised to work towards unity, rebuilding the kingdom of Kumba with the memory of those lost guiding them. As the two clans began the slow process of healing, Efwa returned to the river where she had first met Adewale. She knelt by the water, whispering a prayer. Though he was gone, His spirit lived on in our hearts, and in the fragile peace that now held their land. The divided kingdom of Kumba was forever changed by the secret affair that led to war. But in the end, it was love, not hate, that would guide your future.